Welcome back to the Teacher's AI Cafe. I'm Kane, a teacher and a parent who wants AI to give us back our time. I share practical classroom-tested AI strategies to cut down your workload, improve your feedback and reduce stress so you can get your evenings back and be more present with your friends and family. No jargon, just actionable steps. Grab your mug. Now let's get going. Welcome back to this week's AI Tech Update for teachers. I guess it's the first week of 2026, so not a lot has been happening, as a lot of parts of the world with Christmas and New Year. Things tend to slow down a little bit. We've got a few stories, a couple of scandals coming out of there, which are important for teachers to be aware of. So let's get into it. First one, Grok, the chatbot, which is actually part of X. It's quite liberal in what it actually can do in there. And it's got a feature where you can actually alter normal images, photos in this case, and alter them, and sometimes apparently remove clothes or change their clothing, then circulate without consent. Obviously, this is against the law. They're looking into it. And in terms of Grok, I guess, responding for this, I guess this is a big one for schools because obviously inappropriate images, policies. I guess you really need to look at non-consensual AI imagery and deep fakes that will probably be getting created and sent around as part of the online bullying. So something to address in your digital citizenship lessons. And leaders may want to actually address it directly with students, particularly in the middle and high school sections. The next exciting update is Grok Business Enterprise. I guess features versus trust is a way of looking at it. Grok has launched Business and Grok Enterprise, which is adding some centralized admin, organization-wide billing and a vault option, which allows customers encryption keys and stronger data isolation. On paper, this looks really good, like other enterprise AI offerings aimed at large organizations, such as schools would be, I guess, in our context. However, this feature arrived with a public version of Grok, which is different to this enterprise one. It's under intense scrutiny for safety failures. Like I said, it's educational systems when looking at AI procurement frameworks or what you're going to use. I guess you need to look at Grok's reputational risk, how it moderates, and the transparency must be considered alongside the normal security that we do. Okay, Samsung is testing a new version of Bixby, which will be using Perplexity AI to answer complex questions from cited web results, alongside a privacy display which narrows viewing angles on the screen. And this will come out one of the Galaxy S26. Many students will have their phone will provide reference explanation summaries through a simple voice request. So this is a shift to rich source-linked AI, so it can help the default feature on personal devices. Apple's got Apple Intelligence and so on. So they get these, Google got their own Gemini. So this obviously reinforces the need for assessment tasks that emphasize process discussion and source analysis rather than just a recall. It's not about testing content and memory, but it has been like that for a long time, though. A lot of systems haven't moved past it. So Microsoft 365 Copilot has added some updates now that you can actually manage all your email through natural language commands, RSVP meetings from Copilot chat, and choose between modes that favor speed and deeper reasoning. So individually, these are small changes, but together they're likely to make your staff who use Copilot for routine communication scheduling a lot more efficient. And obviously, within the schools, you got to look at the expectations where Copilot is acceptable and time-saving when human-only judgment remains essential, particularly in communications with students and parents. But as I always say, it's a really good first draft. Bit of regulatory change in California. And new law requires AI chatbots to clearly disclose they are not human. It includes safeguards for conversations such as help, self-harm and suicide. While it's a state-level measure, you'll start to see this sort of requirements, I imagine, spreading between states and even federal levels at different countries as well. So the last story, I guess a bit of a positive note, in Karnataka, which is about 260 government schools in India, have been digitized with tablets, smart TVs, and reliable power. The teachers have been trained to create digital materials and use AI tools to address learning gaps. It doesn't really go into a lot of detail. So the context is very different to, say, Australian, US schools or European, but the principle goes across. Investment in devices needs to be matched with training, local content, and a clear purpose. AI and digital tools become part of the broader plan of evolved learning rather than add-on, but like I said, the training needs and development for staff. This is this week's AI update. I guess the tools, once again, become more capable. The risks are obviously more visible. And more widely reported. And the systems that cope best that combine firm boundaries in terms of our school with deliberate and thoughtful experimentation within the system itself, but with those guardrails up when used in education by our students. Well, till then, I'll be back on Wednesday. I've got an interview with a fantastic teacher. Will be in this week's episode, and I look forward to sharing that with you.